Hey boys, bro, my hair, since the haircut, it's just been looking like it's going straight up. Give me a second, guys, sorry. I'm retarded. Today, I've had an awesome day, like a genuinely good day. The worst part of today is that during some deep work, I was watching some Twitch in the background, and I wasn't even like, okay. So I was kind of listening to it, and when I was doing something like that required more focus, I just turned it off for like 5 seconds. But I was literally just like, all I was doing was getting numbers from client campaigns and putting it through AI. I don't think that'll hit me. On the treadmill, boys. No, but yeah, today's been a... Dude, I swear this is the tills. Give me a second. Anyways, by the way, I'm mega sore. My upper body is like not that sore. My lower body is so fucking... Like, it's just my inner thighs, bro, so everything hurts. But I had an amazing day today, bro, honestly. Diet, good. Water, excellent. Mindset, pretty good. Outreach, splendid, actually. Fuck. Why is it doing that? My treadmill's not turning on. It won't go. I can't start it. Oh, let me start it. But anyways, guys. Sorry, this thing isn't fucking starting. Great day. So, we had some no-shows. I'm logging the reasons, though. So, over the course of, like, 15-ish calls, hopefully I'll have, like, just, like, a bunch of reasons why everyone's no-showing. And then, really, the thing is to... Then you gotta fix those, you know? But at least we're getting somewhere. At least we're not just, like, knowing that it's a no-show problem, you know why they're no-showing. I don't know why no-shows are such a big problem, bro. Like, literally using Imperium system, am I executing perfectly? No. Is everything super refined? No. But, like, I'm using Charlie Morgan's fucking system. I'm doing it pretty well. I'm doing everything consistently. Like, I'm not even doing... It's fucking tremolo, bro. It's kind of annoying. Am I doing it perfectly? No, but I'm doing it pretty well. And still, this month, like, 53 appointments have elapsed, and I've gotten, like, a fucking... like, a 17% show rate. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. In the first month that I've implemented it, my show rate went up to 38%, and I was so hyped, and now it's fucking 17. I don't even get it, bro. But anyways, I don't know, but we'll see. But anyways, we got some no shows today. I keep yapping, I keep tangenting, going on tangents. I can't think now. What am I doing? I had some no-shows, and then what happened is I finished my outreach, but I don't remember when I did my journal. No, I did my journal, so I finished my outreach, and then I had some no-shows, and then basically I had a bunch of time, and so what I did, my goal today was to figure out the 2 biggest bottlenecks in my service delivery for paid ads, not for everything, just for paid ads, right? Because that's like the biggest thing. Because if I can get paid ads well, then I won't feel bad. I'll be more confident. Clients are definitely not going to churn as fast, and if they do churn, I'm gonna get my fucking LTV out of them, which is like 3K, or at least 2.5, you know. But yeah. And so what I did, I got all their numbers. So I had math, and the idea here is that my new clients. For one, my new clients have gone through, my old clients, they've gone through my old media buying. And my new clients, the only person who has gone through my new media buying for long enough was Kevin. So kind of weird. They might change, but I got three old clients' campaign data, which was all good. It had tons of volume through it, tons of data validity. And then Kevin also, which Kevin's gone through my new system as well, which is awesome. I've gotten all their data. Well, actually, no. And this shit took a long time, bro. Not even that. what took a long fucking time was like establishing what KPIs were good for service delivery. And like the KPI, it wasn't like for an amazing result. It's just these KPIs were for the result of like, okay, they're making money, they're not gonna fucking churn, they're not gonna feel like they're wasting money. You know, maybe they're not being rich off of it, but they're gonna at least pull like a 3-4x ROI, you know? Which, by the way, the exact metric that I was looking for is that if they spend $1,000 on ads, then they're gonna get at least 3 jobs, right? Which a job could be, you know, it could be as little as $500, or a job could be as much as like fucking 15K. But like the average job is like 1,200 or some shit. That's not like an exact number. It's just like a estimation in my head. But like, I don't know, because, you know, sometimes clients, they don't really get jobs more than 3K often. And then some others, like, they get 3K here and then 2K here and then 1K here. So I'm just gonna say the average is like 1,200, right? And so, you know, that KPI is good enough for at least like a 3x ROI, which is not good, but it's still enough money to where, like, put it like this, right? Kevin made like a 4.8 or like a 5x ROI for me. And the guy, I would say he made a great investment. I would say he made a lot of money. He paid a lot of debt through me. I think I genuinely improved Kevin's life, you know? And so the thing with KPIs is that I try to make them as bad as possible, or just bare minimum to be good. And so I'm not like thinking that I'm failing, but at the same time, I'm not trying to fix a KPI that doesn't need fixing. So for example, my appointment booking rate KPI back then was like fucking 4.5%. So I never was in KPI, but I was hitting like a 3%. But dude, like 3% is still fucking amazing. Like if you have a 3% booking rate and you do volume, you're gonna like you are going to have like at least a $20,000 business, in my opinion. Cold calling is different because you can't just do 1,000 cold calls in a day. But like, for example, SMS, for now it's getting a 1% booking rate. I've only sent 200 messages, bro, because the account's not warmed up. And I booked 2 fucking meetings. It would take me like an hour to book that amount of meetings, you know? Especially, it's normally just because my phone number's in spam. You get the point. Like, I made the KPIs. That shit took a very long time because I had to reverse engineer. Okay. Because I also had to think, right? Like, there were some things for KPI. One of them was being pessimistic. So, like, not setting a KPI so fucking high that, yes, it would get results, but I'm not going to hit it. And then, therefore, you had no clarity on what you need to work on. And then number 2 is making sure they make sense. So, like, basically, I'm trying to be, like, as real. Because the thing is, guys, I don't want to say it, guys. I'm talking to a fucking phone screen. The thing is, I don't have data of, like, everything, right? I have data of, I know what clients did good, what clients did bad, right? And I have their campaign data. But I don't have any reliable data on schedule rate and close rate and all this stuff. You know, qualification rate. I don't have all that stuff. And I could have that in the future, but it would take a lot of money and time because I know some programs that could do that. They're pretty expensive. But mostly just time because it takes a long time to, I don't know. I saw how Cameron England does it and it's really amazing. But for Owen, it took him like a whole fucking month to plug in all the numbers. They're ridiculous, but I had everything for the campaign, but I didn't know anything for the after. But I had an idea. Because I do client catch-up calls every week. And I would talk to clients and they would tell me, okay, Nick, yeah, I'm getting a lot of schedules, but I'm not closing. Or like XYZ, right? So the other thing that was difficult, and I'm just saying that making the KPIs took a long time, is because you want to like make it as realistic as possible. Not in terms of pessimism, but in terms of like, for example, right? For example, like it's a lot harder to, like, here's the truth that I know about their thing, is that it's a lot harder to get them on the phone, the customer on the phone, and like even talk to them than it is to even schedule them in. But for B2B, for me, it's a lot easier to get them on the phone because they're getting phone calls all day, but it's a lot harder to get them to commit to a phone call. And for example, like the tree service show rate is like almost 100% because they're driving to them, and most of the time the homeowner's at the house anyways. So stuff like that, just knowing those things that, like, because you gotta understand, like, the percentages matter so much. Like, if you're, because I was tweaking it around as well, trying to like see, okay, what's the lowest KPI I have to hit to get this result, right? So I can make it easier for myself later. And like 5 to 10% will change everything, depending on the KPI. So it was those two things. It took a long time. It took like an hour. Probably also I was listening to YouTube and Twitch in the background as well, but you got the point. It took a lot of thought. It was not easy. So I had to figure out the KPIs, right? And then the easy part came, is where I got 4 of my clients' campaigns, anywhere from 3 months long, or sorry, it was like 4 months. The least one, I think it was Alex. He churned really early. I feel bad, man. He only made like 9K off of me. But anywhere from 4 months time to like 8 months, you know? I got 4 clients' campaign data. I plugged it into the KPIs, and that's it. So now what I'm gonna do, or now what I'm doing and I haven't finished, is I'm plugging that into AI, and AI is gonna tell me the big picture and the small picture of the bottlenecks. Because I want to figure out, like, first of all, like, what's the bigger problem, the campaign or the campaign or the sales process? And sales process for me, talking about this client stuff, is just a matter of, okay, you got leads, can you close them? And that implies a lot. That implies follow-up and scheduling and qualification, all that shit. But we're just gonna say sales. We're gonna say lead generation, and we're gonna say sales, to keep it very simple. So first is figuring out, okay, are we getting enough leads and are we closing enough, right? Those are the two, like, universes that you need to get right. And so I'm trying to figure out which one's like actually a problem and which one is kind of fine, you know, aka which one do I have to fix first. And then obviously the other thing I want to figure out is like, okay, this is the big problem, what do I gotta fix, you know? Micro-wise, pretty simple shit, like I would do in my business, right? I figured out that, honestly, like, you can see this happening right now. Like, I figured out that my LTV is a way bigger problem than my client acquisition, because I could run the same exact system, booking only 2.5 appointments a day, and I can close 2 clients a month, right? 2 actual clients a month. Now, my LTV, I have 4 clients. I have enough money. I have enough client potential money to hit my goal. But my average LTV is like $1,000 instead of $3,000. And so I decided that LTV is a bigger problem than acquisition. So therefore, I put LTV first. And then after I solve the LTV problem, I'm going to focus on hiring and then show system and sales and all that stuff. So that's an example. Like, for clients, it's like, okay, is the campaign the problem, or is it the sales after? And there's still a lot of complicated ideas to go into that, but you get the point. So that's what I did. And then later this afternoon, I called the SMS people. I had like a 45-minute fucking booking call with this guy, because his situation was a bit nuanced. So I talked to him a lot, and he was very talkative. I don't know how, literally just an SMS pitch, and then I called him out of nowhere. This guy has like infinite rapport with me. It's actually insane. But I booked in 2 SMS people, and then I called back like 2, I think, people from cold calling, I think. I booked in 1, the other one had another call come in, I just ignored him. But today was a great day. I'm starting to take steps forward to my LTV problem. And then also, I think I booked like 6 meetings today because I booked in 2 SMS and I booked in 4 cold calling meetings. So yes, dude, SMS is really good. At the moment, we'll see. We'll see if I change anything and I make it and I ruin it for everyone. But so far, I've sent like 200 messages. The first 100 messages I sent, I booked 2 meetings. So we'll see where that takes us. But yeah, man, that's it. No, but trust me, there was a lot of time that went into like figuring out these damn KPIs and like plugging in my client's info and just like getting accurate data. Because I also went into Stripe and everything and tried to figure out how much my clients made. Because I remember the deals we closed, you know. I remember that for two of my clients, we did a 5% of profit deal. And I know for tree service, like being a little bit more optimistic here, their profit margins are like 50%, right? And I had a 5% of profit deal. And so I just took how much they paid me on Stripe, times it by 20, and then times that by 2, and I got the revenue number. And it seems pretty damn accurate, to be honest. But yeah, okay. So today, what I have a late sales call. It was actually 13 minutes ago, but he told me that he was running late, so he's probably gonna like tell me that he's ready at like 7:45. Hopefully he hasn't texted me during this journal. That'd be tragic, but and then I'm gonna track my day, get my day done. If I have some time left over, I might work a little bit more. I don't know. I'm gonna rest after that. Have a good day. Tomorrow is gonna be an interesting day, okay? Tomorrow we gotta prove ourselves that we improved. So tomorrow, I have 5 sales calls, okay? And these are like good sales calls. These are new sales calls. These are sales calls where I had the offer and the appointment title and everything. New show system, essentially, right? So I have 5 sales calls. I know that I'm gonna have less time for outreach. And at the same time, I'm not gonna have much time for deep work. So we'll see how I act tomorrow. I know what to do differently. I already been through this mistake before. I did it on Monday where I was just like fucking, it was a chaotic day and it was horrible. And so I gotta show myself that I learned from that mistake. And I'm gonna treat tomorrow the best I can, which tomorrow, I'm not gonna schedule any deep work, only if I have extra time, right? Tomorrow we're gonna get our outreach done and we're gonna take our calls. And when it's not outreach and it's not sales calls, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at sales content. Just digest that. Because you know, when you got 5 sales calls in a day, you better do good in every single one of them. It might be like 1 or 2 calls, I don't know. But all right, I'll see you guys later. I got shit to do. And we had an amazing day today. Thanks.